Hey, what's up? Welcome to the DanceSpeak podcast YouTube channel, where each week I interview a new dancer, mover, shaker in our industry. Before you check out the episode, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and also check out the full library on iTunes and Google Play Music. Enjoy! Fresh Reading. He's probably like, this is so stupid.
I don't know.
We met like, it must have been like 8 years ago-ish when you were I don't know how, you were just here. I just don't know how we met. Do you know how we met?
Maybe through Sir Charles?
Whoa.
I think it was Sir Charles.
And how did I meet Sir Charles?
But I have a good memory.
You do?
Yeah.
I have the opposite. I have like very particular memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and some of your credits include, you ready? Kendrick Lamar. I just wrote Kendrick. Pharell, Justin Bieber, Major Lazer, Will.I.Am, Lloyd, 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, and Carrie Hilson. And 1 second.
50 Cent.
I couldn't. 50 Cent. Commercials and TV. America's Best Dance Girl. I know this is so questionable. I'm reading from my computer, but my hands started hurting from writing it down because it's so many credits. ABDC, you were in season 6 with Eclectic Gentlemen. League of Extraordinary Dancers, LXD, Disney Shake It Up, Nike, Allstate, FedEx, Billboard Awards, Ellen Dancing with the Stars, Kia as a Dancing Hamster, and the Grammys.
Yeah.
How you doing?
That was good.
Thank you. I'm blushing. Oh my gosh. So you recently, and by the way, I mean, this gets interviewee, but if we go on a tangent, although I've made fun of them before, it's so fun.
Completely fine.
Yeah. What was the Grammys like recently?
Oh my gosh, the energy was crazy. We did it with a lot more people this time, so it was good to dance with the New Yorkers, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, it was only a few of us from LA, but when I got the call, like, hey, you know, Kendrick wants you again or whatever, I could not turn it down. Obviously, like, it's on my bucket list to dance at Madison Square Garden.
Oh my God.
So it's only right to do it with Kendrick. So it was a blessing. It was amazing. I love working with like authentic people that just loves the craft. You know what I mean? So it was fun. Like, it was a blast.
Oh, I feel like we learn something or pick something up with each person that we work with. So what have you learned from Kendrick and his process or anything?
That it means something. That it's not just a performance, just to be like, oh yeah, we performed and it was nice. Like everything he does and everything he involves himself with, you can look at his music videos. They're so artistic, they're so creative. Like his team are just amazing, and like it's not one of those things where he walk into the room and he's like, yeah, I'm the artist and you doing background for me. Like, he always wants us involved, and that's why every time he's performing with us and we're with him, it's more of like bouncing back that energy. He's like, yo, I want y'all to grab on me. I want y'all to be involved. I want y'all to be a part of the performance instead of being the background. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I really love about him. And like, I learned so much, like, the importance of each performance is. You know, that's what I really love about it.
What's he like backstage? Is he like nervous? Is he hyping
he's
himself
cool.
up?
Like, he's like, yo, let's do this. Let's have fun. Let's rock. Like, we pray, of course, give it all up to God. And he just makes sure that it's like we are getting across what we're supposed to get across. You know, like, it matters to him, and that's important.
That's so cool.
And a lot of artists lose that when it comes to dancers. Like, you know, they don't think we're that important, but he knows how important it is. So,
what do you think has affected that for him? Like, why does he think differently from other artists in terms of dancers, especially somebody who's like a dope rapper? You don't always see dancers brought in like that from a dope lyricist.
Yeah, and I've noticed that was really like came across this last go around with him. I was like, yo, he's a real rapper. Like, none of those Lollipop Guild guys, but just it was real. Like, he was laughing, like, but it's real. Like, and it feels good to be involved with that because that's where it started for me. Like that real hip hop, just wanting to dance to real music, real lyricists. Like I like lyrical. Like even when I choreograph, I'm like always like choreographing to like the words and the attitude behind it. So yeah, I love it.
What was it like the first time that you were? Because you've performed with him before, right?
Oh yeah.
You're right. So I know I meant like I remember seeing it and I don't remember who I was talking to, but it was like, oh my God, that's so dope that like Fresh is doing this. And the conversation I had with my friend was he does something really unique that he's known for and he stuck to it and then he's called in to do what he does. Yeah. So I want to know what it was like that first time getting called in for it and you're part of the creative process.
Yeah. The first time.
And like what were you up to at the time? Were you already on a roll in a certain way or?
Like for Kendrick, like I was already still working with Will.I.Am and stuff, like, you know, because it's like you never really quit the job. It's not, you know, it's just like whenever they call, like, let's do it, you know, and if you're available, then let's do it.
I remember that video and it was Japan.
Yeah, that power. Shout out to
Oh my God, so dope. Yeah.
A lot of people thought it was green screen, but we actually flew to Japan, like for a whole week to shoot that video. It was amazing.
Oh my God.
Like, and that was like literally one of the first times like I actually traveled when it came to work. So and like that was the start of it all.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
So then, what was it like getting called for Kendrick?
Getting called for Kendrick. It was so secretive at first, so we didn't know.
Okay.
And
did you think it was like not real or
no?
Like,
I knew
big artist.
I knew it was real because it was this. I work with this. I'm very loyal to Fatima. Like she's, you know, she knows what I want in my career and where I want to go. So she was the one that called in and is like, oh, it's a secret project. We don't want to talk about it because it was a surprise performance, and I think the first time it was BT Awards, and we came in, you know, it was like a private like audition type thing, and we auditioned, we freestyled, and to his music, of course, and that's when I kind of knew. I was like, man, I'm not leaving this room. Like Kendrick is the artist to work with. Like, why not? So I went for Blood, and it was good.
That's so dope.
Yeah, the energy was always amazing. I love working with Fatima and her team as well. So
how did you first connect with Fatima? Because she's like almost a mythical, especially on this podcast. She's talked about, referred to.
She is literally like untouchable president, like the queen bee of this industry. But I have a good friend. When I first moved out here, like it was all I knew. It was about mentorship. Like I'm very big on mentorship and like associating yourself with people that you admire and that you want to kind of one day be in their shoes. So I met Adrian Wilshire, which is AKA Dubs.
Episode.
Young Dubs.
Let's find out what episode it is. But I interviewed him and have known him for
Word?
years.
Oh
yeah.
Shout out to Dubs.
Yeah.
Like, man, so when I moved out here, he was dancing with Omarion and stuff, and I knew that was like my ultimate dream job. Like I was like, yo, gotta dance for Omarion one day. But you know, he knew my style. He knew what I wanted. He knew I could freestyle. He knew I choreographed, and he knew that I choreographed in such a specific manner. He knew like, yo, one day your time will come. Just keep doing you. Don't try to conform to other things and the trending. Just do you, and your time will come. And that's exactly what it was. You know, 4 years later down the line, he never forgot me. You know, we always kept in touch, of course. And Will.I.Am wanted something very specific. You know, just like how the girls are, you know, doing the synchronized swimming. You know, and they don't call it dancing in the water. They call it synchronized swimming. So he was like, I want synchronized dancing. I want synchronized movement. He was like, who's like specific like that? Like, you know, and not necessarily Asian. Because, you know, Asians are really good at that. So he was like, you know, I want black people that know how to do that. You know anybody like that? And, you know, Fatima was kind of lost, like, I don't know. You know, and Dubs was like, fresh, get fresh here now. And, like, they called me. I was on a bus, like, on my way to MC training. And
MC training.
MC training.
I know what you're talking about. For bar mitzvahs.
Yes. Crazy.
Wait a second.
Yo, that's the dancer's job when you move out here.
Wait.
You do bar mitzvahs.
Full circle. I got like somebody connected me to do that for that company. They're like really intense, and the woman, I want to say no disrespect, but the woman who was running it, I'm polite in a certain way, and and I guess she wanted me like cussing and crazy, and she kind of like speeched me about like be yourself, or I was getting all types of speeches, and I was like, I thought I came here for a job interview, and it was like 3 hours, and then I remember them mentioning like, and Fresh, he's one of our alums, and I ended up not going back because I ended up working, something else, but anyways,
that's where it's at, man. You're a dancer, you just work on the weekends, you have your week to train, and
if you learn your lesson. I was working during the week. I was confused for a long time about when it was worth it to be like, all right, buy a job, and I tried to negotiate to keep both up too much because I wanted to get my check and like maintain myself out here, and I probably overside hustled.
I did that. I did that for a while. So
you were on, and then I have another question about that after. So you're on the bus from MC training.
Yeah. Two MC trainings.
Wait, MCs though, that's not cool. I was just there for dancing, for like party dances. MC training is like a step up.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm gonna be involved with something, like I don't necessarily want to like waste my time. So like if it's like, I want to make more money, I want to do more, why not? Like keep leveling up no MC matter what. So
good money. So
I was like, I know I want to host my own parties. I want to be able to be involved with the crowd and things like that, be able to control the crowd, So, I was like, why not? Get that training, So I was on my way to that. Yeah, I was on my way to MC training. And Dubs called me. He was like, get your boys Ocean's 11. Get here now. Fatima wants to meet you, right? I was like, here it is. This is the call. I got a couple of my friends like that knows my style very well, learns quickly on their feet. And we went to Fatima's studio at the time, and it was her, Will.I.Am, and Dubs was like, don't you disappoint me, this is it, like, just so much pressure, but, he's about, in a friendly way, of course, and I was like, yo, I looked at him like, I got you, like, I'm gonna make you proud, bro, don't trip, like, I got this. So we went in there, and, they just played the song, they just hit play and was like, create, and I said, all right, let's do it. They gave me kind of ideas of what, like, the idea that he really wants. And then I, like, made it up probably like 10 to 15 minutes. And Fatima was sitting there like, where have you been? And that's an honor for her to even notice, like, yo, you're gifted. Like, and where have you been? And I was like, I've been here for 4 years. She's like, you never auditioned for me? Like, I was like, yeah, whenever you have auditions, she has like one audition like every year. And I was like, yeah, of course I'll audition. I just never, made it through those times because it just wasn't my time. So it was good. But after that, then the next week was in Japan.
So I have a few questions from this.
Yeah.
How did you keep yourself cool and open to create in that pressure bubble? Because when you feel pressure, if you haven't experienced this, usually you can't talk anymore. Like me saying the thing I said about well-produced earlier right now, it's because I felt pressure. No, but seriously, but you can end up going completely dry and forgetting how to move your feet. So how did you stay calm enough and chill enough to create, or what had prepared you?
No, staying true to who I was. Staying true to who I was, knowing I had a strong support system, which was my friends that was there. That's important to me is that I don't only have my career on my shoulders, I have my friend's career on my shoulders, because I changed 6 people's lives that day, so that's important. I never go into jobs or into any situation selfishly where it's just like, oh, this is all about me, and I'm going to be the choreographer, and I'm going to, and I never lost sight of that. I was just like, you know what, I'm ready. It's just one of those things, like, yo, this opportunity only comes once in a lifetime, so to speak, and I said, I'm not gonna leave this room without this job, and of course they called me here for a reason, there's no reason to feel pressure because they called you because you are the one, you are the key to make this creative process work. So, you know, it's not me being nervous. It's like them being nervous. Like, I hope he can do it. You know, that's no pressure. I was like, you know, once you ready, you ready. You know, you're ready. And, you know, I've prepared. I've trained myself enough that I was ready for that moment and to create it on the fly and just indulge into the music, listen to what he's saying, and then make it work. And then me and him even got into a creative zone, like bouncing ideas back. Like, yo, what if we move like this? And what if we move? I was like, all right, we can do this and then do this. Like, right then on the spot. And it was, you know, the next day we had privates, you know, to really work on the project, you know, because that's the same thing with Kendrick. With Will, I understood, and he understood that everybody has their own piece of the pie for everything to work. You know, no one's on top of anybody. Like, and that was the best part. You know, he knew that I had something to offer, and that feels good. That feels really good to have something to offer and be like, yo, like, I'm here for a reason. Like, let's do it. Like, it's gonna be dope. And that's why he's as great as he is. He has, like, those people, they know that they're bringing something to the table, and it's gonna be phenomenal. You know, yeah.
I had a question that brought up. Did you ever feel pressured to stray from your style, or like it was too specific and that's all you're going to be known for when you can do other things?
Yeah, but it wasn't me conforming into something that I'm not. It was just my style evolving, like being able, like, when you train, the more you train, the more pieces that you learn to apply to your craft as well, to help others. If you look at it as that, you'll grow more and you'll grow faster. So since I came from a freestyle background, it was pop and tutting and isolations and robotics, and of course just main base of hip hop. With all of those styles that I wanted to incorporate every time, kind of scared people away. You know, people was really like, yo, he did this and these angles, I can't do it. I'm good, you know. And you know, this is the time when people start to go into classes that they know that they can look good in. Not when we first moved out here, it was like, yo, I go to class because I know I'm gonna get my ass whooped in order to become better. Like, you know. So it was hard to get people to understand, like, yo, these elements can help you. You know what I'm saying? So it was my style that just evolved more, and to welcome more people and to feel comfortable. Even helping my teaching process, which helped, like, yo, you're such a great teacher, you know? So, because some people would be like, man, you actually have to be smart to take freshers class. You know, you have to use your brain. Like, you know, so it was about, like, evolving just to welcome more people in, so they can be helped as well. But yeah, that was it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
How were you training yourself out here once you came out here? Were you in classes as a dancer? Because you're going to auditions, and because I've seen you move before, I'm like, his movement doesn't make sense. Where did that come? No, like, if you haven't seen Fresh, like, break it down. Seriously, I'm like, and I'm very specific sometimes. I'm in the studio, I'm not in the studio, so I didn't actually get to see you train. I'm like, what? Yeah, like, how's your training been in LA?
I just
doesn't make sense.
Threw myself in the deep end. I just trained with everybody. When I first moved out here, it was I trained a lot at Debbie's, and this was the time when Trisha was still teaching there. I was training with Andy, and then, like, throughout the time, you know, Calvert, Cody Wiggins, Sir Charles, even learning from the people, just going to auditions, the people that don't teach all the time, you know, just learning at auditions and learning from other people that just wanted to do videos and things like that, just all types. Dubs, of course. I was always a sponge.
That's so dope.
You know, with the right people. Because you could be the sponge and be around the wrong people and you taking the wrong thing.
How do you discern? It's a tough
what
one.
you want to do. You know, you have to kind of know. You have to have an idea of where you want to go, because then you won't know the path to take. You know, you can't just be like, oh, I'll just do whatever, because then you're feeding your mind with, like, you're wasting your space, like capacity, your mind capacity and your body capacity. You're just wasting it if it's not going to be applied to something that's going to make you better or get you to where you want to get to.
What would you say to the dancer that's like, I love everything and I do these 5 styles really strong and I want to dance for Kendrick and I want to dance for Beyonce and I want to do video, like, and, you know, wants to do everything, which I hear, and I've experienced that as well, like wanting to do everything and finding it so hard to narrow down. How do you recommend someone goes about that?
And narrowing it down?
And picking your lane?
It's no problem wanting to do everything. It's just that when you get to that point, you're gonna have to say no to somebody. And like, it's only a few people I know that does everything, and that's like Johnny Erasmi, John Rabone. Like, they literally dance to everybody. Chris Brown, Justin, to J Lo, and can probably get on stage with Lady Gaga. You know, it's just one of those things where if you don't want to, as far as dance, if you want to kind of have a bracket of what you know you're good at. And once you know that, it's like, okay, like I knew for a fact that one day I'm gonna choreograph, I want to creative direct, and hip hop is my style. So if I get a call that Lady Gaga wants an audition, I'm not gonna go. You know, because it's just like, it's not really hip hop. You know, it's not. I know that it will be a waste of time that I can be applying to other areas to get to where I'm going, because then I'll just literally, everything else that I'm actually good at will stall. You know what I'm saying? So
did you not go to those auditions?
No, I didn't.
Did you get in trouble from your agency?
I went to one, and that was my learning experience. Like, yeah, this isn't me. I'm not, you know, I don't want to wear a leotard in front of millions of people. Like, that's, you know, a lot of people can do that. I just, not me. I was like, nah, you know, no offense to everybody else, you know, like, that's everybody's lane.
I just picture you with a hat, leotard, like.
Yeah, just like miserable on stage, like, you know, I can't even, I'll be on stage like, oh man, no, not me. So, you know, yeah, I had to be specific and know where I want to go.
Have you had any moments where you like felt like you had failed, or you felt super uninspired or stuck, or like you're ready to go back east? Can you tell me about one of those?
Absolutely. It was right before I got called for Will.I.Am. Like, it was, I knew moving out here, I treated it as school. You know, freshman year, you're out here, you got to learn the ropes. Sophomore year, you got to start figuring out where you want to get to. Junior year, you got to start fighting for those jobs. Senior year, you got to get prepared for the real world, and then the real world comes. So I gave myself 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And I was on year 4, and I knew I wanted to teach. I knew, like, I'm still very passionate about teaching. So, and like, I wasn't, you know, sending out hundreds of emails, you know, like, yo, somebody give me a chance.
You were?
Yeah, I was sending out hundreds of emails just to get a chance. Like, yo, give me a chance to teach. I'm a really good teacher. I can really help a lot of people out here, you know. I wasn't getting the opportunities, you know, nothing. And I was like, man, maybe it's because I got to get a job, you know, like one of those big jobs, and then be like, oh yeah, I did this, you know. Now it's, you don't even need that. But then at that time, I'm thinking, like, you know, and I was like, yo, what am I gonna do? You know, I knew I always wanted to get into that business. Yeah, my degree was in business and entrepreneurship. Yeah, so.
That's such a great degree.
Yeah,
I wish I had the foresight.
I love business, so I was like, yo, I need to start diving into other things as well, just in case, you know. But just doubting myself, not getting the jobs, not getting the auditions, things just, you know, I'm human, so you start to feel like, dang, yo, am I gonna be good enough to make it out here? Am I ever gonna get the opportunities? But just pray, and just, you know, still work on my craft and building. And then, you know, they always say, like, yo, God's dream for you is a lot bigger than what you dreaming for yourself. So I knew I just wanted to teach, but then once I got that opportunity, I was able to choreograph for a world tour, go on the world tour, and teach on the world tour at the same. Like, it's literally about cooking yourself. You gotta just marinate yourself. You gotta put yourself in the oven. You gotta just work until you are ready to be served.
And like, not to beat a dead horse, but what do you recommend in those moments where, like, yesterday I was really surprised. I had a moment, because I've been pushing in a few different ways. Yesterday I was like, I'm feeling uninspired. Some of the things I've been pushing for, do I want this? Like, I just felt kind of like, what am I doing in life? And it happens sometimes. It's hard for me to admit it. What do you recommend in those moments? Because I'm like, it's a moment in my life.
Prayer and guidance, honestly. Prayer and guidance, and sticking to it. Like, you know, like, people don't forget. Like, people, just like how you told me about this.
Yeah.
I ain't forget. I was like, yo, like,
the interview.
And, you know, even when I saw Antoine's too, and I was like, I'm like, yo, she's still on it. This is it. Like, yeah. That's it. It's literally about staying consistent, staying persistent, and just continuing to do it. It's literally just doing it. I would say even trying waking up early. Like, a lot of people be like, yo, first you wake up early.
When do you wake up? What time?
So I called it the I made it syndrome. You know, a lot of dancers have the I made it syndrome, where they wake up during dinner, or they wake up during.
Are you serious?
They wake up during lunchtime. Wake up for breakfast. Like, literally, wake up at 7, 8 o'clock. You know, even if you don't have nothing to do, find something to do. Like, you would literally realize how much time you have in the day. You know, because I looked at it as in, like, your 24 hours. Because by the time you wake up, half your day's already gone. A lot of people start counting when they wake up to be like, okay, from 10, 11 o'clock to maybe 10, 11 o'clock when I go to sleep. Like, that's not a full day. 24 hours is a full day. You know, you got the same 24 hours as Beyonce, Jay-Z, Diddy. Like, you have the same day time. You know, they just have a different schedule. So you just gotta revamp your schedule. And don't be stingy with money. Be stingy with time, because that's something that you cannot get back. You know, and it's just about applying where you setting your time, who are you giving yourself to, what are you getting back from that.